Hello guys and welcome back to .NET in Minutes. In this episode I will show you how to implement full CRUD operations in an ASP.NET Core Web API using .NET 8. CRUD means create, read, update and delete, the four basic operations every API needs. We'll build everything step by step, create a new project, define a model, build a controller and test all our endpoints in Swagger. Let's get started. First, start Visual Studio Community or Visual Studio Code, and let's create an ASP.NET Core Web API. We have here ASP Core Web API. We'll name the app Book API. Okay. Here is the project. Will be the project. Okay. Next, select .NET 8 long-term support. Authentication type none. Configure for HTTPS. Okay. Enable Open API support and use controllers. And that's all. Create. And now we have to wait. The project is created. Okay, first step, we'll create a simple book model that represents our data. First of all, create a new folder, name models, okay, and add a class book. For now, we have to add ID, title, author, and year. Public int ID, get set, public string title, get set. This will be string.empty, public string author, get set, string.empty, and public int year to be easier. Okay, because each book has an ID, a title, an author, and a publication year. So, to keep this tutorial simple, we will use an in-memory list to store books instead of a real database. So, we have to create a new controller. Add controller. MVC controller empty. Add. And here we write books controller. Okay. Here we have to write API controller, and the root will be API/controller. This will inherit from controller base, and we have to delete this method because we don't need it. Okay, now we have to create a list, a static list of books. Private book, private static book, and will be a list. Okay, this will be the model book from the model. Okay, name books equal new, and we have to define two books. Our IntelliSense give us some example. We write here the title clean code. The author will be Robert C. Martin, and the year 2008. Okay, the next book. Okay. Okay, here this is a good example. New book, ID2, title The Pragmatic Programmer, author Andrew Hunt, year 99. Okay, and close this. Now we have to start with our CRUD methods. First, get API books, HTTP get. Let's explain here. API books. Okay. See, the intelligence is very intuitive. Public action result, enumerable, book, get books, okay, return okay books. It is will return all books. Okay, next one. We'll have on get API books by ID with a HTTP get ID, and the method will be something like that. Public action result book, get book with a parameter int ID, var book equal books that first or default. We have to map this b that id equal id. We have to make a check. If book equal null, return account. If not null, return book. Okay, the next one will be a post method, API books. Okay, HTTP post, and we'll have a public action result book, create book with the parameter book that id equal books. We have here, we have to write book that count to be sure that every id it's a new id. Let's increment with one. Okay, book that add book, return created at action, name of get book, new id equal book that id book. Okay, this is the post method to create a new book in Swagger. Now the put method. HTTP put id. Okay, and we will have something like this. Public action result. I action result. We have update action result. Update book int id book updated book. Two parameters here. Int id and book updated book. Okay, and after that we have var book equal books that first or default and the mapping. Okay, if book equal null not found, like here at get, and updated book updated book title, updated book author, and updated book year have to be the new title, author, and year in the same book that already exists. Okay, and return no content. And the last one, the delete HTTP delete ID. Okay, and we have public action result delete book with a parameter int id, var book equal books that first or default, mapping like always, and books that remove book and return no content. Okay, let's explain the CRUD a little. Let's go through what each method does. Get reads data, list, or single item. Give me 1 second to put, okay, all items on just one. Post the create a new record, put update an existing one, and delete remove a record. These are the building blocks of every REST API. Normally in an API we have a controller for every SQL table in your database. Now we have to check the program.cs. Uh, in program.cs, everything's already configured for us: Swagger, HTTPS, and controller mapping. Let's see, here is the Swagger. Okay, here's the controller. Okay, everything is here. Let's run and see if it works. The Swagger will automatically open, and this is where we can test all our CRUD endpoint visually. Let's create a book, read it, update it, and then delete it. Let's start with get all books, execute, 1, 2, okay, perfect. Let's test the get one, okay, clean code, Robert C. Martin, 2000, create a new book, try it out, let's see, June, I don't know the author, Andrew, I think, I don't know, and the year, 1965. Okay, let's see if it works. It works. We have a new ID because count +1. June, Andrew, 1965. Okay, this is it. The put method. Let's update this the June book. Okay, June 2. Let's say author Andrew and change the year 1974. Okay, let's see if it works. Response 200. Okay, let's execute all books. It's all here, even the updated one, and let's delete the third book. 200. Okay, and we have execute again. The third book is deleted. Okay, notice how each action returned the right HTTP status code: 200 for success, 201 for created, 404 for not found, and 204 for a successful delete. Return the right code makes your API predictable and professional. And that's it. You have just implemented full CRUD operation ASP.NET Core Web API step by step, clean and professional. In the future episode, we'll connect this to a real database and use Entity Framework Core for data persistence. If this video helped you, drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye guys.